Hey everybody, Dirili here. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Code Realize, Guardian of Rebirth. We left in the middle of some serious heavy action, and we're picking it up again. Let's get back to the game. You can just sit back, relax, and let me read you a story. This time we will chase after Van Helsing. Let's go get our man. Alright, I'm sorry, Deli. Deli manages a smile, even while straining to hold back both soldiers at once. There's no need for apologies. That man may be the target of my revenge, but he also saved my life. Promise me you'll join us later. Ha! That's a given. If I don't return to the mansion, Cece will be lonely. I give Deli a determined nod and take off after Van Helsing. I run after Van Helsing. Following him is easy. The blood dripping from the wound dots the street, creating a path. I can't let Van Helsing confront Finis by himself. I feel this more and more strongly. I run as fast as I can, and soon I find Van Helsing, pointing his gun at Finis. I've seen this twice before, first on the train, the second time in the laboratory, in that room filled with failed attempts at me. And now again. The two look at one another, as if silently communicating their thoughts to each other.
Cardia, you came after me? Just stay right there. This will be over quickly.
Van Helsing.
Hello, sister. Look at the situation we're in. Honestly, what do you think? He dropped everything to chase me. Isn't his attachment to me positively cringe-inducing? Silence, Finis. You're Azoth.
Van Helsing walks closer to Finis, his gun forward. He is tense and looks like he might pull a trigger at any moment. Finis, on the other hand, seems quite calm and doesn't show a hint of discomfort, even in these circumstances.
Azoth? Ah, the ringleader of that series of incidents. He does intrigue me, but nothing more.
He speaks as if he's not Azoth after all. Finis, aren't you behind all this?
Who can say? At least I do consider this a favorable situation. What's about to begin should be a nice simulation for the new world that I'm planning.
What? Finis's words cause a slew of questions to bubble up in my mind. A new world? Simulation? Finis is not Azoth? If I can trust him, it would mean that someone else is the leader behind these horrible crimes. Answer me, Finis. Are you Azoth? Finis doesn't respond, and simply smiles silently.
It'll be easy to prove. If I kill him and the crimes stop, it means it was him, and we'll know the truth. For heaven's sake, Van Helsing, how many times do I have to tell you to get it through your head? You can never kill me. You could have 100 guns fire 1,000,000 bullets and slay me 1,000 times. But it would be impossible to kill me. I'm willing to try as many times as it takes until you stay dead. I suppose there's no point in telling you. Fine, I'll have to make you understand.
Finis leaps toward Van Helsing. Van Helsing reacts and fires on instinct. His bullets were not rock salt this time. It looks like this should settle things. However, not even this stops Finis, who quickly disappears down a narrow alley. As if the shotgun blast had no effect on him. How? That was a direct hit.
I won't let you get away.
The moment Van Helsing starts to run.
Sister, let's put an end to playtime. You belong to me and to Father.
His voice whispers in my ear. Before I can turn around, his dagger is at my neck. The blade touches my skin, releasing a foul odor, and smoke as the metal begins to melt. How did you get behind me? Impossible. How could he turn down an alley and appear right behind me immediately afterward? There's no way he could do that.
I think there's like a bunch of clones of him. Unlike Cardia, who there was only one success of. Probably him, there's like a bunch of him. Finis. Haha, I knew you would be surprised. But come with me, sister, and I'll give you the whole truth. Don't start making plans so soon. I will kill you right here. Really? Think about it, Van Helsing. Shoot now, and my sister dies. She's not like me. She'll never come back to life. So, what? You're so stubborn. I'm empty, you see. That's how I can tell how others are feeling so well. You are holding back right now. You can't bring yourself to shoot the both of us. Make your decision. Will you push through to your objective, even if it means the death of my sister? Will you relax your ideals to save her? This is just like that time 2 years ago, isn't it? Shut up. When your family was killed, what was the decision you made? Shut up, Finis.
His family was killed. Van Helsing's face twists in rage as he points his gun at us, paying no mind to the surprise in my reaction. Yeah, we had to choose ... And I can't bring myself to tell him to. If Finis really is Azoth, and we let him go here, he may go on to commit even greater crimes. I'm fully aware of this. Finis needs to be stopped here and now. But I can't say anything. I can't tell whether it's because I don't want to die, or because I don't want Van Helsing to have to kill anyone else. I can't make that decision for him. Van Helsing and I exchange glances in this tense atmosphere. Van Helsing's eyes are wavering. What is most important? What must be sacrificed? He appears to be suffering from a deep emotional conflict. Then, the ground shakes from a sudden blast. What was that?
It came from the direction of Buckingham Palace.
In our moment of distraction, Finis takes the opportunity to make a dash for the darkness of an alleyway.
Huh?
The movement was too sudden, and his gun is not steady. He cannot hit his target.
You'll likely be unable to make a decision, and it will cost you everything.
Finis's voice emerges from the darkness.
Van Helsing, I've told you this before, but I don't dislike you. You are the only one who comes at me with such passion. Sister, Van Helsing, two of my beloved. I'll see you again.
Finis melts into the dark and disappears.
Damn it.
The two of us chase after him right away. But beyond the alley, we see only the dark waters of the Thames River. There is no sign of Finis. Delacroix stands alone beneath the moon, the bodies of his fellow vampires on the ground before him. How could I have known they would die? He had defeated them and was about to try to speak to them in an attempt to bring them back to their senses. But the two vampires had fallen on their own daggers and taken their lives. I couldn't save them. I'm powerless. I'm no king. How can I get revenge for my race if I can't save even a single one of my brethren? A single tear falls from his cheek as he bows his head and closes his eyes. All I can do now is pray for you. I pray for your souls to find peace and rest. Father, please give them words of thanks. The sounds of footsteps suddenly draw close. The boy king raises his head and stares at the figure approaching from the darkness. Then... Why are you... Not Delhi, no! What? Chapter 12. Waking Evil. It's a quiet night. A golden moon floats in the sky, giving the scattered clouds a bluish-white glow. The night is so peaceful, making it all the harder to believe what transpired just a few days ago. There are so many emotions and things to work out that I cannot sleep at all. The explosion that night did indeed come from Buckingham Palace. From inside the palace, Queen Victoria was unharmed, but many government VIPs were killed. The number of abnormal crimes taking place in London with the word Azoth left in blood has increased at an explosive rate. This city, the capital of Britain, is about to descend into a state of panic. Given this deteriorating situation, Queen Victoria made a public address. As a government official, as a single human being, it is impossible to condone the perpetrators of these crimes. This is war, with Britain's honor and peace on the line. We will not succumb to any threats, nor will we accept any evil. This war will conclude with Britain victorious. Azoth is finished. Based on this information, the British government is doing everything in its power to hunt him down. On the other hand, there have been several changes in the group. Delhi went missing during his battle with the 2 soldiers. We confirmed that the soldiers he'd been fighting were killed, but Delhi was nowhere to be seen afterward. There are no clues to where he went following his disappearance. Our search is encountering difficulties.
I hope they're not doing the hidden strength thing to poor Delhi.
Back then, would anything have been different if I'd stayed behind with Delhi?
Yeah, you would have died. We've already seen this.
I know it's a waste of time to think these things, but I can't help it. And Van Helsing. He disappeared as well, right after he let Finnis escape, and that big explosion happened. None of us know where he is, or what he might be doing. I wonder where he went. Looking back, he saved me so many times. Now I feel that I want to be the one to help him, but there's nothing I can do. I hate myself for being so powerless. Van Helsing. My thoughts are all tangled. I whisper his name without thinking. Just thinking about him causes a pain in my chest. I can't forget the warm smile that Van Helsing showed me once, just once, after the battle with Nointe. I want to stay by his side. I want to help him. That's how I feel. It's how I feel, but the more I get to know him, the less and less I feel that there's anything I can do for him. What can I do for Van Helsing? A noise. The tap of a pebble thrown against the window. I wonder who would be out there. I see the figure standing outside and rush out of my room. I exit the doors of the mansion and run out to meet him. Van Helsing. Van Helsing.
Yes.
Where have you been? Everyone's worried. And what about your wounds from the battle with Nointe? Van Helsing furrows his brow, as if annoyed by the rapid-fire questions.
There you go again. How many times do I need to tell you? You don't need to worry about me.
I can't help it. I have to worry. I change my thoughts away from my melancholy feelings and look up into Van Helsing's face. He makes that annoyed expression that I've become so familiar with. Even though he appears to be in a bad mood, I'm still very happy that I get to see him again. I'm so glad you're safe. Right now, in this moment, this fact above all else is the source of my joy.
Did you track down Delacroix II?
No, we haven't found any clues. If only I had stayed by Delhi's side.
Do you think anything would have turned out differently? You just would have gotten in his way.
Maybe, but I can't help but feel in the depths of my heart that I could have done something.
I'm responsible for dragging him into all this unnecessary trouble.
That's not true. It's no one's fault. We just need to find Dirili. We all need to search together.
No, this is where it ends.
How many times is he going to try to leave us? Van Helsing cuts me off before I can finish my sentence, looking at me with a serious, intent gaze. What?
I'm here now to bid you farewell.
This is so sudden. Before I can fully comprehend the meaning of what he says, Van Helsing speaks again.
I was careless. You were all weak, and I shouldn't have taken you with me. I ended up dragging you into these events. I've been under your care for some time now. I'd be lying if I said there wasn't any attachment, but that's why I must go.
His complete rejection of anything other than what he's already decided on is extremely upsetting to me. He refuses to accept any other opinions of protests. Why all of a sudden? If we all work together, I'm sure. I look at him, trying to find a reaction, but Van Helsing's face reveals nothing, like the surface of a calm lake.
I'm going down a path of no return. You people don't need to accompany me, not when it isn't any of your business.
Not our business. These simple words upset me greatly. It is my business. I'm the key to solving whatever mystery surrounds Finis. You said so yourself. That's why. But Van Helsing doesn't even bother to brush away my argument. He simply stands in silence, letting the words flow past him. His eyes silence me more effectively than any number of eloquent speeches could have.
You're right, but circumstances have changed. I can unravel his secrets myself now, without you. And I'll kill that boy as many times as I need to, until he's dead for good.
I look into his eyes and realize that no matter what I say, he is going to leave me. A feeling of helplessness and emptiness gradually spreads through me. Why? Why do you want revenge on Finis? Why are you so hell-bent on this?
You wouldn't be able to understand this dark emotion that lies within me.
That's right. I don't understand. I don't. The anger I feel is coming from the feelings I've had for him building up as he became a bigger presence in my heart. Of course I don't understand, because you never tell me anything. He only ever sees me as a tool for his revenge, not as the person I actually am. Why, Van Helsing? What is this revenge you keep talking about? You can't just leave without saying anything. Stop telling me that it's none of my business. I can't control this torrent of emotions that I feel. If he doesn't tell me what's on his mind now, he'll leave without saying anything, and I'll never see him again. I'm convinced of this somehow, and I find myself begging, almost yelling at him.
2 years ago, there was a slaughter that we now call the Vampire War.
He speaks quietly, his words heavy. He stares off into the distant skies, as if recalling something from decades ago, not a mere 2 years away.
It wasn't a proper war. It was just a brutal one-sided killing.
The Vampire War. I was asleep for so long. My only knowledge of it comes from hearing about it, not any first-hand experience. Is he saying that those events are somehow connected to his revenge?
At the time, I was a member of Twilight. As an undercover agent, I infiltrated the vampires to destroy them from within. In the beginning, I had no doubts. I simply thought of them as enemies, as vermin to be exterminated. However, as I continued to live among them, I began to question the war itself. I realized that they didn't pose a threat. I reported the facts back to the military, and based on my experience, I advised them against continuing this pointless war. I told them that the vampires were innocent people, seeking only peace.
But the war didn't stop. That's what history says.
I couldn't agree with the military's decision, and I fully intended to abandon my duties and flee. However,
You were forced to keep working for them. An idea about what happened suddenly occurs to me, and Van Helsing nods gravely.
Finis took my family hostage. His condition for keeping them alive was for me to kill the vampires. I was torn until the very end, but my family was important to me. My mother and younger brother, whom I had left behind back in my hometown, were more precious to me than anything.
His anger is painful, intense. Just watching him force the words out causes my heart to ache for him.
That's why. That's why I went through with my mission. I went amongst them once again, pretending to be a lost traveler, and killed them all. I killed all of them. Those kind-hearted people who were so accepting of me, even though I was human, a different race. Not just one or two. I ended hundreds of innocent lives.
I can't possibly imagine how painful this must be for him. Imagining it, from what he has told me, is causing my heart so much pain it might split. And Van Helsing had to deal with all of this pain directly, for real. I cannot imagine the depths of his pain.
When everything was over, the boy, Finis, had altered the arrangement.
What does he mean?
It's just as you think. He had my entire family killed.
Van Helsing somehow looks calm as he says this. I try to imagine the pain he must have endured until he could be so accepting of this truth, and I shudder. Van Helsing takes a deep breath, then slowly and quietly releases it.
That is why I seek revenge against him. I will settle my score with him, no matter what. I will avenge my mother and brother, and most of all, I will make him pay for all the anger and regret I feel with his life.
It's like a black flame burning in him. Van Helsing's eyes are a deep black, and yet somehow they seem to be filled with a terrifying heat. I wonder if he is seeing that family that he couldn't save right now.
That's why your words don't reach me.
Has Van Helsing been trapped in a nightmare that he can't wake from? He must kill Finis with his own hands to awake from the dream.
You are not necessary for the path I'm taking.
With that, he turns his back to me. I instinctively grab his hand. Wait, Van Helsing. I don't want you to be alone. I want to stay with you. Please, take me with you.
Don't be foolish. You have your own problems. You have to deal with finding your father.
That's not it. There's more than that. I just want to help you.
How many times do I have to tell you I don't need your help? And what can you do if I do take you with me? What good are you?
What?
Are you going to kill Finis for me? Can you fight the hidden strength that stand by his side? What if you fight and are almost killed? Will you be able to kill your opponent without the slightest hesitation?
That's...
Answer me. Do you have what it takes to kill?
Van Helsing's question is serious. He's asking me simply if I'm ready to enter a life and death situation. He's headed for a place where he might lose his own life. Do I have the resolution to take another's life? It's not something I can answer easily. All I can do is back one step away from Van Helsing.
Good. Everyone here has a lifestyle suited to them. There's no reason for you to force yourself. You can take your own path in life.
His voice is unexpectedly kind, as if to say they will be his last. He smiles quietly.
However, thank you. The days I spent with you in Lupin were filled with warmth. And although I'm not one to settle down, There were times when I wished I could continue living that way.
Then,
It's all the more reason. I need to put an end to it all before the day comes when those warm days become more important to me than my revenge. But it was fun while it lasted. Thank you.
he gives me a fragile, fleeting smile. More than the happiness of hearing that he enjoyed time with us, or the joy of being thanked, I'm saddened by his smile. It's impossible for me to stop him. He doesn't need me.
Goodbye, Cardia. These words might be overused now, but I'm glad I met you.
Van Helsing starts walking. He leaves my side. Left behind alone, all I can do is look on as he disappears into the darkness.
Are you sure this is what you want?
Alistair has been leaning against his automobile, waiting for Van Helsing to come from the mansion.
Yes, this is how it should be. Doesn't she love you? And you her? You're imagining things. I merely removed something that was superfluous. Fine. If that's your decision, I support it. Let's go, before Finis disappears again.
Alistair nods. The two step into the automobile, and Alistair starts the engine.
Finis has now returned to St. Paul's Cathedral, where Twilight's headquarters are. The cathedral. Is the source you got this information from reliable? I'd swear it all my life. Finis and his rebels in Twilight attacked the cathedral. They attacked you? Yes. Thanks to that, the remaining members of Twilight were wiped out. I'm unable to contact any survivors. Is there anything in the cathedral that Finis would go to such lengths to obtain? It's said that Isaac obtained the location by bargaining directly with Queen Victoria during the rebuilding of London. That piece may have secrets that we aren't aware of. Could it be the secret of his immortality is in a place so close to him? The best places to hide something are where nobody can see.
Isn't it supposed to be in plain sight, actually? Van Helsing looks out at the passing scenery with a tense expression. He can see the city lights glistening beyond the curves of the hills. Steel London, started by Isaac Beckford and finished by Finis, though it is still growing. Lives and emotions constantly cross paths here, and countless tragedies are born each day. A beautiful beast that devours lives. Steel London. He first came to this city several years ago. Tonight, he will put an end to his connection to this place. He stares up at the moon and reflects on his past. He must collect his thoughts and emotions to prepare for what might happen. Okay, and right here I'm going to have to insert an impromptu break because turns out if I keep going, his story is way long. So I had to decide later on where to put the break, and this is where I'm putting it because I want his whole history to be in one episode. So yeah, I'm breaking it here, and I hope you join me to hear about his history, and I'd be so grateful for any likes, comments, subscriptions, or shares with your friends to show some support. Thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you all health, happiness, and safety. Dirili signing out. Bye-bye, everybody.